Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket Season 2 Episode 15 Anime Review. It's time for Parent-Teacher Day. Students are there too. I bollocks that a little bit, but let's just keep going with it. Yeah, Parent-Student Day, Parent-Teacher Day. I'm going to be honest, really tired, that's why I'm flubbing a lot. But Parent-Teacher Day is, in real life anyway, has anyone had an enjoyable one? I think they seem like a waste of time most of the time. Like here, at least they were actually like talking about your future and that. And like at our school when we had to do that, it was just like, no, here's your grades, here's what you could do to go better, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks. That was basically it. But no, here it's actually good. It's more, you're going back to the whole thing of what they're gonna do after school, what they're gonna do in the future. That's what this one's building towards. And yeah, we got a bit of that with both Toru. Kyo had a little bit, but not really, and mostly Toru and Yuki were the focuses, and it was pretty good. Yuki's mum's a dick. That's where I'm leaving. I'll come back to it, but yeah, not a fan of Yuki's ma. She's not nice. But anyway, let's crack on with the episode, see exactly how it all went down and everything. Let's do this. So the first red flag regarding Yuki's mum, she changed the date for the conference last minute. That's a bit of a whoopsie, Let's not be doing that. Toru then, says to him, it's like, hey, it's for you to think about your future and all that, so do your best. And then she remembers Akito saying not to meddle, and she's like, I'll do my best to meddle. And I'm like, that's pretty funny. You're funny, Toru. You are funny. Shigure, of course, came for Toru's parent-teacher thing, let's not forget. And he dressed up for the occasion. We later learn he's dressed in one of Hattori's suits. Whether he just had that on hand, borrowed it with permission. No, he took it without permission, didn't he? Let's just think about it logically. That's the type of thing Shigure would definitely do. And I think that's what he did. Got the reaction he wanted from Mayu. She had this like, oh my god, are you serious? Why? Face on. And it was genius and I loved it. Basically, Toru wants to start working immediately after school. Which, okay, I guess to, support herself and everything, because she doesn't really like relying on people. Like, notice that about Toru, she tries to do everything, that's the whole thing about this first part of the episode, she tries to do everything herself. Rely on your friends, Toru, god damn it. Yeah, these two, also the whole time, Mayu and, Shigure, are just smiling at each other, trying to, being pleasant, but you can see in their eyes that they're not being pleasant, really. It was, Toru can sense it. It's like a sheer cold whisked through the classroom. Yeah, teacher even says, Mayu even says, don't bear everything yourself, Toru, And then Shigure has to talk to her alone without Toru, so they send Toru on her way. And basically, the thing Shigure wanted to say, he basically just stayed to troll, basically. He is a troll. That is what he is, an internet troll, but in real life. But then she tells him, hey, basically, not treat Toru better, treat her with more care, basically. And then he's like, oh, Rin said the same thing back when, wherever that was, when it looked like Rin and Shigure were doing the nasty. She actually said, hey, is she just a tool to you? Are people just tools to you? Shigure's great. I can't figure him out, and that's why he's great. Toru's friends check on her. Uo and Hana, they check on her. Basically, they sort of cheer her up. She's anxious about a lot. She has sort of like a little Pandora's box in her head, I guess, because Kyo was in there. And all the stuff she's anxious about, basically, that's going to open at some point, I presume. They basically focus on what you can do now, is what Uo says, basically. It's like, hey, don't massively worry. Look at what you got right in front of you, first of all. And that's good advice. Don't necessarily panic about something that's not immediately coming up. But don't delay it indefinitely. But hey, focus on what you can do before focusing what you can't do. That's my philosophy anyway. Warn him not to trust Shigure. Warn her, sorry, not to trust Shigure. Which, has she heard that a lot? I feel like she must have heard that from at least a lot of people, because he's Shigure. Kyo is with Shisho, which no surprise there. His actual ma didn't want to show up, which... Not Ma at all. Of course she didn't show up. I need to go to sleep, I think, after this, is what we're learning. Yeah, Kyo is with Shisho. Hana immediately has a... She has a thing for Shisho. She thinks he's very handsome, so... That's a thing that's going to happen. Will it happen? It probably won't happen. Who knows at this point, you know? Kyo's meeting, I guess, doesn't really have much. Basically just ends with her thinking over Kyo. Shisho is like, you know, I'm not going to decide for you, but I'm allowed to worry about you. And it's pretty nice. And then Kyo's like thinking, he's like, all I want is to be with Toru. And it's like, okay, but she's not going to pay the bills herself, Kyo, so, you know, you're going to have to get a job, and I think it's better that you get a job you enjoy, you know, is what I'm saying. And then they all have a Soman party at Shigure's, which is good stuff, I guess. They tell Kyo that Hana, likes Shisho, which he's like, what? Or was it Yuki they tell? Somebody gets told, I can't remember. Kyo looked a bit miffed, because he's like, I don't want you to be my mom. Hana being Kyo's mum? That's kind of weird. I can't even imagine what that's like. It's pretty weird. On to the second half. Did I mention that Yuki's mum's a dick yet? Because she kind of is. She basically, upon hearing her voice, all the dark feelings that Yuki had came back, and that's not good. We went through so much development, Yuki. But no, his mum brought it all back, I guess. When he was left with Akito, she smiled and pushed him away. Because the family heads took an interest in you. You know, that's your son. It's like, you're leaving your son with a creepy man. Like, I don't know what else to call Akito. Like, I can't look at him and not think he's a right creepazoid. But, hey-oh, you do you, I guess. At the meeting, she's already decided Yuki's future. It's like, here's where he's going, here's what's going on, here's what's going on. Yuki doesn't want that, obviously. He wants to make his own decisions. And then she starts having a go at him and is a real dick. Thankfully, Mayu sort of defends him and is, you know, competent. I don't know what else to say. Not a penis. And yeah, then Yuki turned out never like the Soma family. We have the flashback on how he got to school and everything. All he wanted was to go to an outside school, outside the estate, you know, out away from the Somas. And his mum was not happy about that because she thinks that Akito taking an interest is a good thing. I mean, we've seen what it did to Yuki. I don't think anybody could look at that and tell me it's a good thing, you know? That's just what I'm thinking. She never listened to Yuki and everything. He's getting more and more, I guess, stressed in the chair. And then who shows up to save the day? It's bloody Ayame. He shows up and takes us over the conference, kicks Mama out of the seat, basically, and he takes over as the parent, I guess. The mum really can't deal with Ayame, so that's cool. Ayame is a true savior right here. She calls Ayame useless and, you know, not good, a bad influence, and Yuki's like, he is not influence, and she's like, when the hell did you get? When the hell did you two get so close, you know? And it's like, haha, you've missed 50-odd episodes, 40-odd episodes of character development, Mama Yuki. Mama Yuki? I guess we'll call her that, Mama Yuki. So, you get out of here. You know, can depend on Ayame, he said. Yuki gave him a second chance. He's trying to give you a second chance, Yuki Mama. So, do the right thing. And then she runs away and everything. And Yuki goes to talk to her. Right. Oh, she leaves and says she'd never birthed them too. That's, you know, add that to the list of things that Yuki's mum does that is bad. Then Yuki goes after her. Ayame found out about the date change because you'll never guess who told him that the date... It was Shigure. It was Shigure. You didn't need me to tell you that Shigure was behind it. Of course Shigure was behind it. That's just what he does. He's like helping in one instance, and at the very next instance he's just being a troll and being a pain in the ass. Shigure, I don't know what to make of you, my man. By the end of this, God, when they eventually explain like exactly what his motives are, like in crystal clear detail, it's going to be like, oh, it was so obvious, and I just didn't get it. Yeah, Yuki goes to get his mum, realizes she's small, which out of context seems a bit weird, but in context makes perfect sense because he was sort of not scared, you know what I mean? He viewed his mum like she was like a pillar holding him up, but now he's realised, thanks to, I guess, how she couldn't deal with Ayame, like, hey, I don't necessarily need her. You know, he thought if she abandoned him, then he would have nothing. But actually, he's like, actually, I can do fine on my own. So he explains to her very, very nicely that he wants to be part of the world, basically. I was gonna sing Little Mermaid here, but I'm not gonna. It's not happening. It's not happening. And basically says, please don't end my life by taking my decision away, which sounds really drastic and dark, but that's not what he meant at all. Yeah, it was a good line, good speech. She, after hearing all this, he's like, I'll do my education, like you said, because I was gonna do that anyway, I guess. But I'm choosing where I want to go. And then she's like, she doesn't even really make any acknowledgement. She just walks off, kind of. So, bye, Yuki, Mama. I hope you don't show up lots. I'm not a fan of you. Then Toru appears briefly. We don't get much interaction between them because once again, Yuki just gets swiped away by the student council before he can really speak to her. Yuki's really not had much of a conversation with Toru since the beach, really. So that's a thing. Yuki gets taken away to the student council, and then Toru pulls her hair ribbon out and starts doing some like poetry. It's really like poetic sounding. Maybe it's probably not poetry. It's like, you know, it sounded very poetic. But I'm curious as to what the taking a hair ribbon had to do with anything. Is she just not going to have a ribbon now? Or a hair tie? I can't remember exactly if it was a ribbon or not, to be honest, off the top of my head. But yeah, that was kind of a weird scene. Sort of came out of nowhere, but not really. It probably is some symbolic meaning that I'm not quite getting, but hey ho, what can you say? And then after the credits, what was going on with the student council? Why did they need Yuki so desperately? Who's hanging out in the student council room causing trouble? It's Ayame. It's definitely Ayame. And Yuki just... He's got his... I said it before. He's got his work cut out for him. When you see everyone who he's surrounded with... Yeah. That was the end of this week's episode. As I said, I liked it. I liked the Yuki stuff, even though I hated Yuki Mama. Ayame's the best bro, I think we have deduced. And yeah, it was a good episode. The Kyo stuff, though it was really short, it still had a little bit of, you know, what is he going to do with his life? You know, he can't just live with Toru. You can't bum off Toru's earnings. You've got to get a job, Kyo. But obviously, they've got bigger things to worry about before that, i.e. not getting locked up in a cellar forever. That's a pretty... You probably deal with that. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of threads left open. Toru as well, like with her really wanting to work immediately. Like, will she not backpedal, but will she change her mind? You know, who knows? Who knows? That was the end of the episode. Before we end up, a few people last week were, I don't want to say miffed, but I'll say miffed. That's a good word. But a bit miffed that I had seen the trailer because, you know, spoilers or whatever. Here's all I'm going to say on that. I might have seen some things in the trailer, but I have no idea the why, the how, and I'm probably still going to end up being shocked and surprised when the moment comes. I'm just gonna lay that out there right now. So I don't think it's going to make too big an impact. But hey, I'm not taking the blame because they should have made the trailer with less spoilers. So there's that. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll wrap this up here. It was a good week. It was a good week, but not too much really happened. You know, the student, I keep saying student, parent-teacher conferences are over though, so we are progressing surely towards the end of the year. And you know, we still got quite a few episodes left to go. Someone said it was going to be 3 seasons, so presumably that means we got 4. Math is hard. 35 episodes left to go. If they, you know, keep the same pace and everything. So, it's exciting. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.